What's going on, everyone? Thanks for clicking on my video. I greatly appreciate it. Hey, if you wouldn't mind taking the time to subscribe to my channel, it means a lot to me. Today we're looking at videos of people that thought it was a good idea to cut off a truck driver. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, we got a motorcycle or a scooter. Oh my gosh. You couldn't have gone up? I don't understand this. This is the same as what I talk about when you miss your exit. You go up to the next exit and turn around. You pay your penalty for not paying attention. So he should have gone up here to this next street that's up here and turned left and got on the road that he needed to be on. Bad idea. All right. Oh, truck's hanging out a little bit. So it looks like this is a business of some sort here, and people are exiting this way. I don't really see much of a point in this guy sticking out the way he was, as it looks like there's plenty enough room. There's not a truck in front of him. He just hasn't made the turn yet. Either that or this truck was in his way to where if he were to turn when, right now, the end of his trailer is going to come in contact with the front of that truck. Nope, that doesn't even seem to be the case either. I mean, the only other explanation is that he's having a mechanical issue. Because there's plenty of room there to finish that turn off. Okay, we're going on a 2-lane back road. Got a pretty good stopping distance in front of him. Says the vehicle in front stops suddenly to give way to a pedestrian in the area that doesn't have a pedestrian crossing. Oh, yeah. That's tough. You want to make sure that people can cross the road safely and come to a stop. But in a situation like that where it's not a crosswalk or anything, it's probably best to not yield to pedestrians and let them jaywalk like they're going to jaywalk. And if they end up getting hurt, it's kind of on them because they're jaywalking. Granted, in the country like this, there's not really a whole lot of crosswalk areas, but it's never a good idea just to stop in the main lane of travel unless, of course, you're turning or something like that. This looks like to be probably about a 45 to 55 mile hour speed zone too. So just be careful out there. And it's going to take him a little while to get back up to speed too. Yeah, trucks go from 0 to 60 in eventually. Alright, we're on the Jersey Turnpike. Got some Starbucks in the drink cup. Oh, it looks like he was getting too close and ended up whacking his mirror. Not a big deal. Those shift out to where, if something comes in contact with them, they're designed to where they're going to shift versus brake. So most likely there's no damage. The truck driver that hit him also probably didn't even notice that happened. That's not a big enough impact to shake the truck in any sort of way to make you think that you hit something. So he's probably going to carry on down the road, and that's just the way it is. Get out, make sure your mirror's not damaged. If you can get the name and company numbers and all that stuff, the trailer numbers, give them a call, but most likely you're just going to have to deal with it. Okay, Florida Turnpike. Okay, merging over. Stuff's coming to a stop, dead stop up here. This is what I'm talking about though, finding an out. Unfortunately, the out ended up being in a lane of travel, so he did the best that he could in that situation other than, hey, stuff's slowing down, go slow. Yeah. You see one truck moving over right there. Boom. Another truck's moving over right there. Boom. Another, yeah, I mean, was he signaling before? That's kind of what I want to know. Let's take it back just a couple of seconds. Oh, now we have a turn signal. Okay. Yeah, he kind of jumped over there quite a bit. A little hard. He probably could have got on his brakes pretty hard and been fine too. Just be careful. Okay, we're merging over. This guy's merging over with not enough room to. Huh. That was on the blind side technically, but I feel like blind side is kind of blown up out of proportion to where it's unrealistic. In the newer trucks, there's really not much of a blind spot. There is a little bit, but if you take the time and merge over the way you need to merge over, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Some of the longer nose trucks, they do have blind spots. It just kind of depends on how the truck is laid out, but a lot of the newer models, you should either know, hey, you're watching your mirrors every 10 seconds, you're checking this one, you're checking this one, and you know, okay, there's cars moving around you. Keep a mental track of what cars are coming up beside you, what color they are, what shape they are, whether they're a van, a car, an SUV, and just mental, hey, where'd that SUV go that was pulling up on my side a minute ago? Is it still there? Take a second look. And what helps too is to talk through like your surroundings, because I know a lot of times we get distracted and not necessarily distracted, but we just zone into driving down the road and we forget to pay attention to our surroundings. And what happens is we kind of get tunnel vision where we're not seeing stuff around us. So if you're verbally checking it, I know doing that for 11 hours a day isn't realistic, but mentally keep a note. Hey, this SUV just came up on my blind side. Where did he go? Is he still there? You know, just keep a mental note of what's going on around you. Okay, we're in Ohio. Okay, so he's merging over a little bit early. Truck ended up coming over way too close. I get it. He got close, but did anything happen? He probably should be paying a little bit more attention. Now, if he goes and chases him down and throws a big old temper tantrum of something that didn't happen but almost happened, you know, you're getting frustrated over literally nothing. Nothing happened. I hate when people do that. But if you're a four-wheeler or a car or just your regular driver watching, a good rule of thumb is to look in your rearview mirror, the one that's up here, and when you're merging over to the next lane, make sure you see both of the headlights of the semi-truck in that rearview mirror before you merge. And that gives us enough room to come to a stop if you stop in front of us or something were to happen, a deer runs out in front of you. That gives us enough reaction time to make sure that we got enough room to stop. Yeah, don't go chasing people down that do something that piss you off. If you're not hurt, don't worry about it. Throw your little cuss words at the windshield and keep it moving. Wet, rainy conditions. You can barely see out the window from the dash cam. Everything is so blurry. That's a good indication that you need to slow down. Especially when you're in a city area like this where there's a bunch of street lights. Those add glare and reflection on the road, and it makes it even harder to see. Surprisingly. Okay, yep, went too fast, got a little loose and into the guardrail over here. Be careful, slow down, take your time when it's raining and snowing. Okay, looks like we're in New Jersey. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, so this truck driver rolled up the shoulder to get to where he needed to go. Now, we're not seeing the whole picture here because it very well could have been that he had to move over to the shoulder for some sort of maintenance reason, or there was a car that was jumping in on his side and he had to get on the shoulder and he had to find a spot to get in. And unfortunately, it was right in front of this guy. Now, this was another issue right here. This car. Oh, here's a van too on this side coming in. but this car waiting till obviously the lane is completely ended to jump in. This is a huge issue that happens in a lot of major cities. People wait to the last minute and just cut in, and they do it quite a bit in front of semi trucks as well. So when we talk about predicting what people are going to do, this is what I'm talking about. When you realize that there's a pattern going on in people's driving and driving habits, you have to, as a professional, kind of predict that that's going to happen and leave yourself enough room for it to happen. And I know that sounds like you're preparing yourself to be taken advantage of, but it's going to save you a ticket or an accident. Okay, now he's got to jump on his brakes because this car is kind of cutting in here too. Yeah, you just got to be careful. And again, just predict what people are going to do if you're a truck driver listening. We are the professionals, technically, so we're supposed to do the right stuff. And this guy's not doing the right stuff. He's definitely rolling up the shoulder. Yeah, he's trying to get to where he's got to go. Don't do this. Don't run up the shoulder like that. And especially don't be merging in on people. What the hell are you doing, dude? ASL Transportation. Why? This guy needs to lose his license for this. In a hurry, raging, I'm guessing. He's going to end up causing a massive accident. And he's a day cab truck too. You're getting home every night, buddy. Well, what are you complaining about? Why are you in such a rush? You're going to be home tonight. Most likely. Some day cabs still do some over the road stuff and just get hotels. All right. We're over here in Florida. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. That's so scary. Oh, good Lord. Hold on. Let's take it back. See what happened. So we got a biker here crossing the road with something on his shoulders, too. This is tough. So I've watched several of these accident videos even before I started reacting to them here on YouTube. I've seen several, and the common denominator that I see a lot of times is people swerve away from, so if somebody's coming this way, they kind of swerve away and they end up colliding there. That being said, I had an incident last summer, not this summer, but the previous summer, where a car was driving the opposite direction of me, and a Jeep came out and tagged its rear end. Now, the car spun out and went that way, but the Jeep ended up in front of me. And I was doing that same thing, and we had come into contact. Now, mentally, I've thought about it, and I know that I need to go away from where it's heading, not try to outpace it to the shoulder of the road, basically. But in the heat of the moment, in the accident, you don't think about that. You're trying to make a quick maneuver to try to avoid the accident, and that's exactly what this guy did here. He was trying to outpace him to where he was at. The best way you can do it, if you can, again, in the state of an accident, you're not really thinking clearly. The only thing you're thinking of is don't get into the accident. So the best course for him would have been to slow down and let him pass, actually. Yeah, again, we're talking about instantaneous reaction that you can't, because they're both outpacing each other to the... Yeah, hold the lane and go in the opposite direction if you can. It doesn't always work out like that. Okay, it looks like this guy's burning through brakes, or he blew a tire. Yep, it says the truck's brakes are overheating. Okay, probably just came down a big mountain and was holding on to the brakes. Okay, so the best thing to do if you're coming down a mountain or anything is to use what's called pulse braking. Essentially what you're doing, instead of holding on to the brakes and holding, is you're giving it a big stab and then let go. Big stab, then let go. Big stab and let go. And that's why if you're in a car and you're riding alongside a semi-truck that's coming down the mountain, you hear tss, tss, tss. That's what he's doing. He's doing that pulse braking or stab braking to slow his speed, and this keeps your brakes from overheating as well. Okay, so we got a truck loaded on a truck, loaded on a truck, it looks like. There's got to be some restrictions to this because of oversize. So he's hanging off the back a certain distance. So if it's a 48-foot trailer, you can hang off up to the 53-foot without having to have a permit. So this technically would be basically a flatbed load. So I can't tell based off of this video whether he's over it or even if he's in a 48-foot trailer. Now, I don't know anything about the regulations about being loaded on something being loaded. You know what I mean? Like, so there's this truck inside of this truck that's loaded onto that truck, and then you got another truck on top of it loaded onto that. If you know in the comments, let me know. It doesn't seem safe regardless. It might be legal. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have no idea the legality of that. Okay, we're in looks like a Peterbilt. Oh. Yeah, that's a stop sign right there, folks. Stop, wait for a safe spot to jump out. Okay, this is a terrible quality video. Let's see if we can make anything out here. Looks like some stuff is slowing down up here a little bit. Oh, you got this truck jumping out. Yeah, the best move, if possible in this situation, is to do what we call finding an out. And that would be coming over here into this lane, assuming that the lane is clear. If not, you have no choice but to get on your brakes. You should be getting on your brakes a little bit anyway. And then the only other option after that is to come over here. But it looks like he was able to get on his brakes, stop just in enough time to where he didn't give him the old keister. Okay, we're on I-80 and between Nevada and Colorado. Or sorry, California.
On my own, there it is. I can't get out. And there's the other driver in front of me.
Oh my gosh.
He can't get out. And like, we stuck here. He cannot back up. It's the same thing for me.
Dozens of trucks and cars were left stranded in the deep snow.
And there's my passenger side. Right here.
I mean, that's not the worst snow. I'm sure he probably can't get his truck through it, or would have to chain up in order to get through it.
Like, you see, there's another truck in
But you got some serious gusts here.
Go forward, you cannot go backward. There it is.
Yeah, this is why you carry chains if you're going into these areas that have serious snow like this. Carry snow tire chains. And actually, I think they've started requiring them to have them at least on your vehicle, not necessarily on your tires in some spots. This way, people aren't getting stuck like this. I actually, last winter, I had to chain up for the first time ever because I try to avoid these areas during the winter. So I had to use my chains, and I didn't listen to the rules and chain up prior to going up the mountain. Ended up getting stuck in the middle of the road. Luckily, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, so I didn't have to worry about it. I just got out and started chaining up in the cold. Good times. I actually got a video on that. I think it's a short reel. I was going through Utah, I want to say. I'll go ahead and put a pin up above if you want to go and check out that. But yeah, I had to put chains on it. It was beautiful, though. Yeah, so if you're driving in the snow, you need to be careful. If you're driving in the rain, be careful. And again, like we've talked about before, just go ahead and try to predict what other people are going to do out on the road. Once you start seeing a commonality of behavior, just kind of try to predict that that's going to happen in certain situations and be prepared for it. And that's the best you can do. If it still doesn't work out after that, then things happen, life happens. There's not really much you can do about it. All right, y'all, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching my video. I appreciate it. Subscribe, like, comment, do all that fun stuff. All right, bye.